Welcome to Taking Share Lessons from Leaders with Rob Holmes, Chairman, President, and CEO of Texas Capital. During each episode, you will hear from leaders, decision makers, and culture shapers across industries. What drives them? What tips the scales when making tough calls? How do they continue to evolve? We're here to understand the thoughts behind their actions and discover how they are taking share. Thank you for listening.
Our guest today is someone who has quietly but unmistakably played a defining role in shaping the modern identity of Austin, Texas, and someone I'm proud to call a dear friend, Eddie Margain. Eddie is a co-founder and owner of Austin FC and CEO of Pixiu Investments. He is a significant figure in Austin, known for his entrepreneurial ventures that shape the city's identity through real estate, sports, and consumer brands. Originally from Monterrey, his background and experiences influence his approach to business and community development in Austin. And from my many interactions, conversations, and observations, it is clear his greatest passion is his family. It's fun to watch. Eddie, welcome to Taking Share. It's great to have you.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
So you grew up in Mexico, in Monterrey, as I mentioned. Let's start with your background. I want to start on just your upbringing in Mexico. I don't think a lot of people know about that. It clearly shaped a great deal of you. And then I want to go into the entrepreneurial background and experiences you had in Mexico. What shaped your perspective most by growing up in Mexico during that time?
For me personally, it's a level of appreciation for what we have here in the U.S. and in Texas. Why? Because you learn the relevance of the system. And by system, I mean the structure that we live in. And you can go deeper into it and say rule of law, how well we have it structured, our judicial system, our political system. So when you're in a disadvantage, you have to hustle way more to get some things done. Then you realize, I moved here and then said wow, I thought we had it pretty good back there, but then you move here and you're able to get way more things done because of, at the end of the day, certainty.
Right.
So you have certainty, and at least, of course, nothing's perfect and nothing is you can completely predict. Otherwise, it would be boring. But at least there's a certain level of certainty and trust that lets you be a better you and perform better and do more. I learned a lot from Mexico. A lot. The hustle, the fight, the figure it out. I owe a lot to Mexico on my upbringing and ways to work around things and just get things done. And then it helped me when I transitioned here to appreciate more and protect what we have here.
I want to come back to that. You do espouse the benefits of rule of law frequently and when in conversations with me and others. And it's great for people to hear that, because I think a lot of people here take it for granted, and I don't think we should. But if you don't mind, let's go back to, you had a lot of different businesses in Mexico at a young age. I mean, you were a young man when you started a lot of different businesses. How did you get in the first, you had a technology business, a telecom business. Talk a little bit about that. I know people won't believe that the founder and owner of Austin FC has scars on his hands from putting up satellites, in one of your businesses. I've seen the scars. I didn't believe you. Then you showed me. So tell me a little bit about your entrepreneurial spirit in Mexico and how you started a business and why you just didn't go to work for somebody else.
I was just honestly just trying to be self-sufficient. I just wanted to produce so I would depend less on my parents. And it's weird, but I just wanted to be able to, whenever I needed to buy something, or I don't know. I mean, I have the capitalist side of me. I just wanted to keep producing and keep creating and making, so I would just be self-sufficient. So that's why in college, I had that first business on the telecom side, and I was on the roofs of the houses installing antennas and stuff. I don't know if I would let my son do that, what I was doing. I don't know how my dad let me do that. But anyway, I mean, it was good, and it was a lot of learning, and also how tough it is.
Right.
And but when you're 18, you're aiming for a small amount of money that will change your life.
Right.
As you grow older and you have more responsibilities, then you're asking for more. So now I look at that business I would never do that.
Right.
But it was not even the money; it's what that business taught me.
Right.
And I still use a lot of things that I learned from that business. And it was good and it was difficult, but I learned a lot.
Tell us a little bit about the family and how and why you all moved to the United States, how that decision was made, and how did you pick Austin?
Yeah, my wife is amazing, and big part of why our kids are so good is because of her. Like, she does a phenomenal job, and the three of our kids are different in what they want, but very similar on their values. And we spend a lot of time with them, and we try to guide them, obviously with our conversations, but also by example. And we moved in 2008 for security reasons, and then we fell in love with Texas. And we fell in love again, like the structure, we saw, for me as an entrepreneur, like I saw the potential. I was like here, like, oh my God, this city is ready to go. Like it was starting to go, like we were basically, you had the 2000, the dot-com bubble, and that brought everything down, but then it was starting to pick up. You had 2008 and that recession, but you could see it. You could see, for me, it's energy. So you would come and walk here and you will have all that energy from all of the students and then some of the entrepreneurs and the tech, and you could see that something was happening here. And when they ask me about Texas, and I always tell them, like, it's talked about this with one of my business partners, and like it's like the story of the four brothers. Like Dallas is the corporate brother. It's very well dressed, corporate, good. Houston, like medicine, energy, different. Like it's the most diverse city in the planet. San Antonio is more army, defense. And then you had the fourth brother, Austin, which was the guy with the hoodie and just hanging out with the computer. And suddenly that became like a big thing. So I saw the potential. We fell in love with the city, and that's why we stayed here.
Great.
And it's been fantastic. The people are amazing. Like every time that other people come here or other teams come and play against our team, like they all leave like, what the hell is wrong with Austin? Everybody's so nice. It's pretty cool. Like, and we have that. Like, it's that energy, and energy you cannot buy. It's just, it's there, and you need to protect it, and you need to, empower it.
I want to come back to the team, but let's stay on what you did first. You came in and you started investing from day one, right? In Austin, and you own some of Austin's most iconic properties. And you didn't buy the shiny new building. You bought really iconic properties like the Driscoll Hotel where we are today. We just toured it. You just redid the whole thing since buying it in 22. It's gorgeous, all unbelievable amenities and restaurants, but also you saved a lot of the history and added to it, which was, thank you for doing that, by the way. I know that that's important to you, and it's important to us. I think it's a little gift you give them back, which is great. You own the Scarborough building, the Littlefield building. So what did you look for when deciding something's worth not just investing in, but preserving? Those are very unique buildings that maybe somebody else wouldn't have bought.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, like all of the projects that we've talked about or that we're going to talk about, like I have incredible business partners. And my job is how to connect the dots and empower more people, from my business partners to the rest of the organization. And so it's about them, not about me. My job is to just help them out and empower them more. We moved here and I tried from day one because I was looking at it, but I needed to learn about the US because it's so different. It's like whoever tells you that it's the same to do business in Mexico or the US or any other country, like they don't know what they're talking about. It's
Right.
completely different. So I needed to learn what was like the not easiest, but like where I could take, I don't like too much risk. So it was like kind of like what asset class I can kind of mitigate the risk. We were coming out of the 2008 recession. I moved in 2008. So I tried to buy real estate because I thought that I had like at least a kind of safety net that I wouldn't lose everything while learning. I tried, but nothing traded in 2008, nothing traded in 2009. One property that we tried, but it was one. And then in 2010, we acquired our first asset. And my wife and I, like we've been evolving. And then we got into like, let's invest with purpose. Like, yes, you can buy the shiny new thing, but what's the real, there's two things, like what's the real value in it and what's the economic value, but then there's what's the legacy value of it. And what are the odds of having a brand new building being there in 40 years versus a building like this one that has been here for 140 years
Right.
being there. So when we started buying, I always been telling our partners in our team, like, we don't own these buildings. We're just good stewards of them. They've been here for 100, some of them 110, this one 140, like, been here for 140 years. Like, come on, we're just good stewards of it. And then the other thing that my wife and I started working on, it was kind of like, what's the reality? Our kids were born here, but we migrated from Mexico. So it was kind of like, let's give as much back and prove that we're here to add value. And for us, it was kind of like, thank you, USA. Thank you, Texas. We're here to give more, as much as we can. Obviously, we like to make money, everything, but we've always been trying to, make it better and just do more. So we thought, like, why don't we just buy these iconic assets and enhance them? And if you go to some of our buildings, which you have, we remodel everything inside, but we protected the facade. Same thing as here at the Driscoll. Like, it didn't turn into a modern hotel. It turned into a more robust Texas hotel building, and kind of almost a Texas museum.
It for sure is.
It's going to take us a little bit longer to make money, but we'll make money, I think. And I just think that, again, it will be here for 50 and 100 years instead of taking a shorter view and taking more risk and just making it only about money.
So what about you invest in office a little different, at least for me, meaning I didn't appreciate how different your office space was. And what I mean by that is your buildings are, the finish out's pre-done. In other words, you don't do tenant improvements and stuff. Tenants, you still do it like that, right?
Yes. Everything we do is like, what's your edge? If we don't have an edge and we're not different, then you're just competing against, like, it's basically, it becomes purely an Excel sheet with numbers, and right. Who has this, like, what's your real advantage, or what? I cannot exchange something with you, which is usually a value, if I'm not adding value. If I'm not giving you a value, then why are you paying me rent if I'm not giving you something better or something that is worth for you more than going to my neighbors? And that's on every product. Like, everything, if we don't have an edge, then why? So we worked on, like, what's going to be our edge on office. Like, okay, we're going to buy these beautiful buildings. First, like, okay, let's buy those with character, beautiful. We'll preserve them. Now let's make all the inside so people walk in, and it's not going to be the typical firm. This is going to be for a firm that they want to come in. They're like, what is this lobby? This is amazing. Like, I was not expecting this because it was an old building, but now it's beautiful inside and it's music. And then it's like, yeah, but the office. Then I'm fighting with someone else to see who gives you more TI. And we're like, let's make it easier on our tenants, which are our partners for 2 or 3 years, because they're coming with us and they're paying. So we end up treating them as partners. So let's finish it out, because a lot of them don't want to work with the general contractor, get the permits from the city, wait, and then be delayed. So, like, let's just take that and let's just rent the space as they are. And here it is. We might change the carpet, we might change the color, but that's it. We're not going to add more. Like, let's go. So our rotation and our downtime is way less.
Right.
And, like, my business partners say, like, we're not class A or class B, we're class X. Right. We're different. And that, we thought it was our edge. For some time, it was tough for the market to understand it. I'm talking 2015, 2016. They were like, no, give me TI. I just wanted to, like, no, we're not your guys.
Right.
So, but now it has worked. And when it started to get more and more complicated to build, everybody was like,
that's great.
Just give me the keys. I mean, especially for companies that, like, we're not after Google or Facebook, or, like, our market is different. It's way smaller spaces, yep. Smaller companies, and through all of our portfolio, we can move them from our co-working space to a bigger office to until they graduate, and then they need too much space that it's not great for us to give them too much exposure in some of our buildings.
We had to redo 330,000 square feet plus of office the last 4 years at our firm. And so to be able to go in and it be already done and save that time and money, I see the value in it. So what other business ventures do you have? I know you have a bakery and you've invested in a tequila company that I can endorse. It's really, really good. How you decide what to invest in, and what are you working on now that's fun?
So, I mean, it's again like where we can find an edge and that we can have a difference, and at the end of the day, minimize the risk and be able to produce good alpha compared to everybody else. So, I mean, the tequila was kind of like my business partner. It's amazing, and he has all the connections in the world. And I didn't. I was kind of conflicted because there's a lot of tequila brands, and so I was kind of like, the world doesn't need another tequila brand. And it's like, yeah, but if you help me with the best tequila in the world, no sugar, no nothing, I promise I'll work really hard and push it through all of my contacts in the US, and it's growing like it's a rocket ship. But again, like, so something that was supposed to take 6 months, going to Guadalajara, to Tequila, Jalisco, and find it. And like, I went, and suddenly you're visiting all the distilleries, and like, oh yeah, we had caramel. And like, what the hell? What do you mean you had caramel? Yeah, they're proud of it. And like, no.
Yeah.
And then no, we had fructose or syrup.
Yeah,
or
there's
whatever.
like a peanut butter tequila now.
And I'm like, this is wrong.
Yeah.
So instead of 6 months, it took us 4 years to source the right tequila, because if it's gonna have our name, it better be like it. I prefer not to do it.
Well, it's a great name.
Well, it's Agua Sol. The only thing that it has is water, sun, and agave. Agua, Sol, and agave. So it's the purest. We won the best Reposado tequila in the world in the Spirits Alliance competition in San Francisco. It's the biggest spirit competition in the world. We won the best Reposado. So I was like, okay.
Did you win the best bottle? The bottle's great.
Yeah, again, we designed, like, that bottle it was designed by us, and then it's produced by the biggest glass company in Mexico, but under perfume division.
Oh, to make it pretty.
Well, and it's the quality and the level is very different than a typical, like, we didn't go and got from a catalog of 200 types of bottle. Okay, give me this one. No, we went and designed ours.
It's great.
I'm
not sure what costs more, the bottle or the tequila. But
no, it's still the tequila, but it's close. Like, we spend a lot of money, but it's worth it. Like, and you're gonna put your name, and so that business has been going great. First time that we do more structure funding, and we're doing a fund for first time that we're going out. Why? Because I don't know, it hit me. Like, and people ask us, what's your thesis? And our thesis is Texas. I love Texas.
Right.
Like, where are we going to invest?
You're talking about your real estate fund.
Well, this is going to be a platform.
Okay.
So our first vertical is real estate, but we're going to do several verticals with the sole thesis of Texas.
Texas investing.
This is where it's a $2.9 trillion economy. I don't have to go anywhere else. I don't know why I'm traveling and investing in South America or Europe or Asia. Like, I don't have to. Like, Texas, I love Texas. We have number one on health, number one on energy, number one on semiconductor manufacturing, number one on space. We have really good people. We have a surplus. Go to our infrastructure. The infrastructure fund has over $140 billion. Like, it's like, why am I I get mad, but not seeing it before.
You get excited.
I'm super excited, and I'm like, why I didn't do this 8 years ago?
Well, to be fair, Texas isn't what it was 8 years ago.
Yeah, and that's part of the deal, that they keep calling it the Texas miracle, and it's not a miracle. Like, It's just been a lot of work from a lot of people for so long, especially like Governor Abbott has done a fantastic job. Fantastic job, and he deserves a lot of recognition for it. And he's been there for 22 or 23 years, first as Attorney General and then 12 as governor. Like, look at the numbers. Like, numbers don't lie. Like, stop getting emotional about other stuff. Like, focus on the numbers. And Like, it's just been fantastic what we have here, and we just need to protect it and keep going. Don't move it.
So talk about that. Abbott appointed you to the Texas Economic Development Corp in 22. I know you spent a lot of time on it. I've been to some meetings there with you. What does that entity focus on most now, and what do you enjoy about it?
I never did more of like media, because it's funny, but my family-in-law, they're in the media business. So I'm kind of media shy. So I just do it like...
You do it very rare.
I've never. And
Yeah.
I've just done it for two friends, you and another friend, for long still, because you're my friends, and it's my way to say thank you for what you do and for your friendship. The same way, like when Governor Abbott invited me to help him out, I said yes, and I'll help him in almost anything that he asked me for, because look at the numbers again.
There's clearly, in my lifetime, never been a better pro-business governor of any state in the country, period.
Again, but he's as a human, incredible.
For sure.
And as a governor and as a leader, incredible. So you need to be there when they ask you, like, do I have a lot of time to put on it? Like, no, I'm struggling with my time, but I have to. I'm doing it because I say I have to on my own right, like in my own way, to be there and help him out. Yeah. And I'll help the state, and I'll help him with, he asked me to help him with the World Cup right now in the World Cup task force. We have more games in Texas than any other state, more than Mexico, and more than Canada, here in Texas. So we're not a host state, we're a host country. That's how big Texas is. I go and help them because I just think that it's the right thing to do. The Texas economic development is just been fantastic because we're trying to help and connect and do more for Texas and bring more business. If there were 80 or 70 leads 5 years ago on companies trying to relocate to Texas or do projects in Texas, there's more than 400 right now.
Right.
It's massive. It's incredible. It's a lot of work. For example, there, I mean, Aaron that leads the board, and then Adriana on the economic development on the state, like they work really hard. Like I just don't think that people appreciate the work that a lot of these people put on to make our lives better. Because at the end of the day, more companies move here. It's more diverse economy, more jobs, more
corporate relocation last 5 years in the state.
Incredible.
I think 111 just in Dallas-Fort Worth alone.
Dallas is amazing.
It's
they're doing probably is I would guess that probably is the hottest city in the world.
The world. Growth, corporate relocations, velocity of capital. I think you're probably right.
Yes.
And Abbott's a big part of it. I mean, the Texas Stock Exchange was his idea.
Yep.
I mean, he's a very curious, very smart. So let's go to, well, first of all, let's stop in Austin for one more second on the civic side, because you also gave a lot back of time to Austin recently on the police commission. Can you just talk a little bit about that?
They asked me to, head the, back then it was the Greater Austin Crime Commission, which it's been there, like Admiral Inman put it together with a lot of some Austinites, like 26 years ago. It was pretty good, but back then we were working on getting extra equipment for the police department when they need it. I don't know, the police helicopter need tech. The city brought the helicopter, but they didn't put the money for the tech. Like, okay, we'll get the funds and help them with that. But that world, that Austin changed substantially. And so we didn't, I think, in my point of view, and again, we didn't have a robust presence from the community on the public safety side. So we changed the name with the help of the board and everybody involved. Like we changed the name to the Central Texas Public Safety Commission. So we can really make it broader and with different angles and different perspectives. So we did that, and we now have a way more robust organization with a bigger impact. Why? Because again, public safety, you miss public safety, we can go and build 3 Tesla factories, 5 stadiums, other 4 professional sports team, whatever, it's irrelevant. You don't have public safety, you don't have anything.
I think that's what a lot of cities are getting wrong today.
Yes, and the problem is that and what bothers me is that you start hurting the most needed. Those communities that need more policing or need a police. Now, saying that every organization is perfect and that in this case, all of the police officers are perfect doesn't exist. It's made of humans. But that doesn't mean that the whole profession is wrong.
Right.
So you need to be careful because then you hurt the most needed, and that's where things start to get bad. So yes, I put a lot of time on that because I lived some of that back home in Mexico. So in my new home, I don't want that to happen. And that's why I put a lot of time on it. And I just think that if the community gets more involved, then we can have better results. And at the end of the day, like I can tell you, like, and we spend a lot of my wife's and my money on my family's money on public safety in our city. And the reason for it is, again, to protect that. We run every single model in my office on what really matters, what's the real impact. And if you want to oversimplify it, mega oversimplify it, like we used to pay our first responders across the country. We used to pay them with money, but we also used to pay them with honor and respect. The moment that you stop paying them with honor and respect, it doesn't matter if you pay them twice as much. It's the honor and respect that matters. It's like that's why I tell everybody, like, if you don't have to do too much. Start by just thanking. Every time you see a first responder, say, "Hey, thank you for your service."
For sure.
That's the least thing we can do.
Let's move to the fun part. FIFA, Austin FC. So you brought the first professional sports team to Austin ever. Tell us a little bit about the role you played in that, how that came about, because I bet there was a lot of people that wanted to do different versions of that or the same one, and I know it's like so much greater than what you originally anticipated. At least that's my understanding from just seeing it and talking to you. And tell us about how it came about.
Well, that was a interesting one. Again, like that was on that period when my wife and I were like, okay, like let's do more for the community. Of course, we'll end up making money with it, but like sports, and especially something like soccer, which is a league with a tremendous growth, it costs you money every year, but the impact is fantastic. So we're like helping like local hospitals, and it's like, let's try to keep kids out of the hospitals. So like, okay, how? And then professional sports team. If you have a professional sports team, back then when we did our analysis, was like, you have a professional sports team, then you have professional athletes. If you have professional athletes, you have professional heroes for the kids. Why? Because they want to be, everybody's celebrating them and whatever, because they buy the nice cars. But whatever the reason, I don't care. But if we back then had between 30 and 40,000 kids that want to be like them.
But they want to be healthy.
Exactly. Then from year 12 to 20, they will train to try to be that. Even if they don't make it when they're 20 and they don't become professional, they already made those tough years, productive years, and healthy years. So you end up, no matter what, having a better community. So that was one of the first theses that we liked about doing it. And yes, the same thing, from being completely private and completely off the radar, we knew that was going to change our life. That was one of our biggest questions. Like, do we really want to go? Like, that was kind of the biggest hurdle that we as a family had to go through and say, like, is it worth it?
Right. Is it?
I mean, of course you have different days and like, but for me, when I'm driving into a game and I see a family and I see a kid on his dad's shoulders and both wearing their local team jersey.
That's pretty cool. Well, I got to tell you, I've been to a game with you, and I'm not going to give you credit, but maybe I should. But whoever decided to keep, I think it's the East Side, as a general admission.
Yeah, that's the supporters section. The supporter groups are amazing.
It's crazy. They add so much to the game.
They're amazing.
But that's the funnest soccer game I've ever been to.
Anthony thought about a lot of things, and he was right on it, and I was trying to help. But I, on purpose, like, I've stayed away from a lot of the sporting side. But a lot of the other stuff, like, which I enjoy more, like on the stadium, the design, the branding, who are we bringing, how, the energy, and what the supporters do, it's amazing. But talking about some cool things that make it worth it, like, again, this is a project that you cannot make it fit on a Excel sheet, because there's other stuff that it's not there, but it makes all the difference. Like what? Like the kid that went for their first professional sports event there and they become a lifetime fan. Where do you put that? That's unique. So the interesting thing here was, Anthony and I creating something from scratch.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't buy one thing. Like, we put it together. Like, it was just years of work. So that, for me, that was
overnight success.
Yeah, but I think, again, like, it's like this building, I think it's going to be here for 100 years. I hope that the team is for 100 years and that the the city owns it, and the city it's theirs.
My guess is that today there's a dramatic amount of more soccer fans living in Austin than even when you thought about this, just given what's happened with the migration to the city, no?
Yes.
Or is it a conversion of football fans to American football to soccer?
No, I mean, number one, like if we didn't have the right environment, like our stadium has the four corners open. Well, we're in Texas. We have a huge canopy, a huge roof, but we get the southern breeze to go through it and cool it down. Why? Because we're in Texas. That makes the experience better. And then what about McConaughey being our partner? Like when I told him, hey, and he was super, Matthew is something else. We were with our families and I tell him, hey, let's do this crazy thing. And it's like, he came back a week after. It's like, let's do it, but let me also put some of my money in. Like, that's how cool this guy is. And that's a lot of energy. That makes the experience better for the kids, for their families. And let me give you another example. We're there, one of the games, and he tells me, Eddie, you see that family over there? It's like all with black t-shirts. And like, yes. Well, guess what? That family just lost one of their members last week. And they're all here because this was the place, every game, that they would come together as a family from different parts of the city or the country and get together for a game.
Yeah.
And they're here celebrating their family member that passed away. I mean, like, how do you make up that? Like, that's it. But he knew that because he went and met with them.
Right.
That's also, I mean, I'm giving credit to Matthew, I'm giving credit to the team on how it impacts lives.
It's great.
And so, yes, it's super challenging. Professional sports is challenging. And especially when you get to the sporting side, that's a tough. I don't get that much involved on that side. It's really tough. So that's when I like, okay, wow. Like that's, so all of my complaints and stuff, then it's like, it's worth it.
You want to talk about FIFA?
We just had here the president of FIFA for dinner with the governor and the FIFA team. And most people don't realize how big the World Cup is going to be. For Texas, for the US, but for Texas, it's going to be massive. We're only going to play Dallas and Houston. But even with those just two cities and the games that we have there, we have more games than any other state and more than Mexico, more than Canada.
How many games will you go to?
I'll go to probably 6 games.
That's a lot.
Because of my son. Is like, and he's just now asking me to go to the opening game in Mexico. And so I'm like, I don't know.
Sounds like you're going to 7.
Yeah. He knows how to make me go and take him. It's huge. I mean, economically. So now you have people from all around the world coming to Texas, realizing how big Texas is, because you have, on one side, you don't have, but Texas don't realizing how big the World Cup is going to be. But at the same time, you have a lot of, I mean, you can say FIFA or the World Cup or the other countries, they don't know how big Texas is.
Right.
So when they come here and they see what we have, then I think that they're going to be more interested in investing here in Texas, which is great for economic development.
Vacation
I
here.
think they're going to come back to vacation here in Texas and visit. I just think that it's going to be huge for Texas. At least the numbers that we have and what we're seeing is going to be incredible for Texas.
I got a couple more questions.
Yeah.
Let's just do a lightning round. We're at the end, okay?
Whatever you need.
What do you like to do for fun outside of work?
So I'm a pilot, so I like flying. That helps me a little bit disconnect because there you cannot fool around. So it kind of like no cell phone, no nothing. Put a nice music background and then just go in and enjoy it. Now I recently started playing golf. Last summer, some of my friends came and visit, and I realized that they had this, trips and stuff, and I wanted to spend more time with them. So like, okay, either I play golf and join them so I can spend more time with them, because for me, my friends are important.
Yep.
And,
how you doing? You want to share your handicap? You want us to save it?
I'm improved. Well, I can tell you something good. About a month and a half ago, a friend of mine calls me. It's like, hey, want to go and play? It's Friday, first day of the spring break. It's like, dude, I'm super busy. I can do something maybe after 3. Then he calls me like, no, it's packed. There's no tea times at the club. Like, well, I'll see you there at 3:30 and we'll just go to the range. And we're there. And then these 2 other guys that I didn't know, like, hey, we have a tea time at 4:20. You guys want to join us? Super nice guys. And like, we join them. And on hole number 8, I just grab a soft 8-iron, 130 yards or something,
Don't tell me
129.
you hit a hole in one on your. Attaboy. There's going to be a lot of
I saw it bounce and then it goes and rolls and gets in. And this other guy, like new friend that was invited us to play, he jumps out of the golf cart like, it's a hole in one. And I'm like, hey, don't play with me. I don't play with my emotions. Like, I don't know if it went over the ridge or something. Like, no, I saw it. Like, it's in.
That's awesome. What is the one thing people would be surprised to learn about you they don't know?
I mean, historical, like people will probably laugh that I was 12 selling Amway products.
Okay, that's fair. That's a good one.
Yeah, I was 12 selling Amway products, cleaning products, because I would give a catalog and I knew my strengths. I knew that it was like, it's tough to say no to a 12-year-old. And then my dad is like, okay, let the driver take you. And it's like, Dad, I'm selling cleaning products. How am I going to have a driver? Like, no, I'm walking the street. Like, leave me alone. Like, let me go. So I was 12. I don't know how much I would pay for my blue folder, plastic folder from Amway that I had all my brochures and everything there. Like, that was fantastic. That was I would be with that for like a year and a half.
That's great.
Selling Amway products. And I made good money. But then they were like, okay, you need to now register. And you need a tax ID because you're selling a lot. And I went to my dad and it's like, Dad, I need a tax ID. It's like, hell no. You're 13 and a half. Like, I'm not going to give you a tax ID number. Like, no, go to school.
You go to school. Okay, so this is the last one. It's one that I ask all the guests that are on taking share. What is the single most important trait for an effective leader to have?
Trust. If you don't have trust, like, I mean, you can.
I think it's a great answer.
We're all imperfect. So people can follow an imperfect person, but if they don't trust you, then all of the other values like become irrelevant, I think. Obviously, I have in my scale like honesty and loyalty.
But trust.
But trust, I think
like
that's and that's why, like, again, like you go back again to rule of law and everything. It's just what is. It's just basically us trusting the system and trusting. The moment that you lose the trust, then you don't trust the system. And if you don't trust the system, then how do you know that they have your back? Imagine that let's take it again and connect with public safety. If you cannot dial, if you know that if you dial 911 and you cannot trust that the other person on the other line on the other side of the line, that you cannot trust them, it's a completely then it's game over.
Right.
Like the beauty is that we have a system in which we do trust those other guys, and that's why we need to empower and protect them and just be there for them as well and do more of that. So it's the same thing, I think, in leadership in our business or in our lives and with our families. Like, I just think that is trust.
I think it's a great answer. Eddie Margain, thanks for being here today. You're a great friend and a great citizen, and what a blessing you are to Texas and Austin.
No, thank you. I'm always here to help and just try to add value for everybody.
And you have fun doing it.
Life's short. Like, let's make the best out of it. And again, I'm super grateful to you as a friend, to this city that welcomed my family and me, and this state and this country. So I'll keep fighting and keep doing everything I can to make it better.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share it across your networks, whether that's on social media or in a group text with some of your colleagues, friends, or family. Don't forget to follow or subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast so you never miss a conversation. Until next time, thanks for listening. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the speakers and do not represent or reflect the views, positions, or policies of Texas Capital. Texas Capital is recognized as a premier financial services firm with a world-class full-service platform and a commitment to partnering with visionary leaders. Texas Capital Bankshares, Inc. is the parent company of Texas Capital Bank and trades as TCBI on the NASDAQ. Texas Capital is the collective brand name for Texas Capital Bank and its subsidiaries and affiliates. Please visit texascapital.com to learn more.